All right. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Massa Tutorial Associate, where mathematical literacy begins. So we are solving 2023 B.E.C.E solutions, section A. So let's start the ball rolling. Question 1. Write 0.01723 in standard form. So another name for standard form, we can say what? Scientific notation. Okay. So now, the standard form, make sure that it must be in the form a upon b times 10 exponent n. Right. Where this decimal point must be between what? The first and second non-zero numbers. So now, when we are moving the decimal point from the left to the right, the power of 10 is what? Negative. And also, when we are moving the decimal point from the right to the left, the power of 10 must be what? Positive. So now, the decimal point must be between the first and second non-zero numbers. So which means that this decimal point must be here, right? So in between 1 and what? 7. So we are moving it from our left to our right. So now let's see, I have 0.01723. So we get 1, 2, right? So we get 1.723 times 10 exponent negative. Then how many times did we move the decimal point? We moved that 3 times. So we get negative 3. So I get 1, 2. So 1, 2, right? So I move it 2 times. So I get 1.723 times 10 exponent negative 2, right? So now let's see the option for that. That's option C, 1.723 times 10 exponent negative 2. So that's option C. All right, so let's move on to our next question, which is question 2. All right, question 2. What is the value of 3x squared plus 2x minus 7 when x equals negative 3? So this time around, we have what? Substitution here. So we just substitute. So wherever you see x, we substitute in what? Negative 3. So I have 3 multiplying negative 3 all squared plus 2 multiplying negative 3 minus 7. Right. So 3 multiplying negative 3 all squared is negative 3 times negative 3 plus 2 times negative 3 out of negative 6, then minus what? 7. So I still have 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, we obtain positive 9. Then we have positive times negative, we have negative 6 minus 7. 3 times 9, we obtain 27 minus 6 minus 7. Right. 27 minus 6, we obtain 21. Right. Then 21 minus 7. So it's very, very simple and very, very trivial. Very, very simple and very, very trivial. So finally, when you subtract 7 from 21, you will get 14. So that's our answer. And our answer is option C for cat. Option C for cat. So you can see that this one is very, very simple question. Let's proceed to question 3. Question 3. All right, so question 3. Find the image of the point x, negative 2, 2, when it is reflected in the y-axis. So which means that we have the line x equals 0, right? So I can draw my Cartesian plane here so that I'll know my formula real quick here, right? My origin point, right? So we want to reflect this point x, negative 2, 2, on the y-axis. So this y-axis serves as my mirror line, or my line of reflection, or my reflection line. So which means that that's the line x equals 0. So how do we find for the image when this point is reflected here? So now we have a point here which is xy, and it is reflected in the line x equals 0. The image appears here, so I get negative x y. So which means that our formula reduces to x y mass onto negative x y. So which means that this is my point and this is my image, right? So I have point x. So point s, which is negative 2, 2. My s image is, let's see, negative 2, then negative, right? This is my point, and this one, I'm transforming this point to this image. So I want to make this guy look like what? This, right? So negative 2, and this one is negative x, which means that it will affect. So I have negative multiplying negative 2. Then this positive 2, positive 1. So it maintains, right? So my point s negative 2, 2 maps onto point s which I get positive 2 what? 2. So therefore, my s image is given as what? 2, 2. So now let's see which is option B for more. Option B for more, which is very, very simple and very, very trivial. So let's move on to question 4. Question 4. All right, so question 4, what is the actual bearing of S 25 degrees E? So here, which means that we are measuring an angle of 25 degrees from the south pole towards the eastward direction. But this time around, we don't want it in what? Cardinal point, okay, or the compass direction, sorry, the compass direction, but we want it in what? Three-figure bearing, which is another name for actual bearing, or we can say that the original bearing, right? Or bearing for short. So the actual bearing, which means that we want it in three figures. They've given you the compass bearing, they want it in what? Three figures. Don't forget that with the three-figure bearing, we start from the north pole, then we measure through the clockwise direction. So now let's see. First of all, how can you represent S25 degrees E on a diagram? Do you understand that? So you have to draw your cardinal points. I have my north pole here, south pole, east, then west. Where can I locate S25 degrees E? Which means that I'm measuring an angle of 25 degrees from the south pole. So somewhere here. So I have to attach it here. So I'm measuring an angle of 25 degrees from the south pole towards the eastward direction. Right. So this time around, we want the actual bearing, the three-figure bearing. So what do? We have to start. We are only using the north pole. With the compass bearing, we use the north pole and the south pole. The three-figure, we use only what? The north pole. So we start from the north pole till it reaches this path, then it stops. So I have my 90 degrees here, then I don't know the angle here, right? So you can subtract 25 from the total angle here, which is 90, right? So if you subtract 25 from 90, what do you obtain? You get 65, right? You get 65 degrees. 65 degrees. Then you add it to 90 degrees. What do you obtain? So 90 degrees plus 65 degrees, you obtain 155 degrees. Or what can you say? You just find from the total, which is what? 180. Then you subtract 25 from 180, you still obtain it. 155. So I can say that therefore the actual bearing is 155 degrees, which is option D. Option D for dog. So now let's proceed to question 5. That's our last question. All right, so question 5. Given that m equals b over 2 minus t, we have to make t the subject of the relation given. So how do we make t the subject? Don't forget that we have our t here, right? This t is negative, right? But I want a positive t or a positive variable t here. So we have to send this guy to the left hand side on the equal sign. So we get t then plus m equals b out of 2, right? Now, we are interested in t, not m. So we have to send this plus m to the right hand side of the equal to sign. So we obtain t must be equal to b over 2 minus m. But now, we've made t the subject. But when you check through the answers given, you don't have this inside. So what can we do? Then you have to go further. This one is over 1, right? So what can we do here? We have to find the LCM because it's subtraction of fractions. So the LCM to obtain the 2. 2 goes into 2, 1. 1 times the variable b, we obtain b. Minus 1 goes into 2. 2 times the variable m, we have 2m. So we have our answer to be t equals b minus 2m, all divided by what? 2. So we can see that our answer is available inside the options, which is option A for Amma. Option A. So now we've come to an end of the first 5 questions. So we are solving our 6 to 10 questions. All right. So Massa Tutorial Associate, where mathematical literacy begins. Do all to subscribe, watch, like, and share. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day. See you in our next